Hi, welcome back to Mike's Diabetes World. Well, should we get started? I don't know how long this video is going to be, but we'll do it. Okay, current blood sugar is at 7.3, being pretty well in check all morning. Had 2 breakfasts? No. I counted the carbs, but I gave my usual carb dose earlier and added 10 extra units. So I came up. It came up to 8, and then we came down. So current is at 7.3. I calibrated at 10 to 5 in the morning. I don't know, I woke up again bright and early. I could try staying up later, but it gives me the quiet time that I'm able to produce some of these videos. I'm just pulling out. So let's go, come on. Current time and range is 92%, 92%. This is still hovering above 8, but hopefully it'll come down soon. But 92% shows that that's the in range. The green, pretty simplistic. Above 10 millimoles was 8% of the time. So that's going to be 2 hours. So for 2 hours in the last 24 hours, I was out of range. So we're aiming to get back to 100. Let's see how we do. Today, I want to discuss with you some of the other sites that I enjoy using to research for enjoyment about T1D. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. This channel is provided for informational purposes only. Contact your physician for any diagnostic or treatment plan. Okay, so what I was looking for here is sites that introduce type 1 diabetes to their audiences. This is not the only one. It by no means is meant to be. It's just if you're doing research and if you want some lighthearted about diabetes, these are the channels you should look at. I've looked at them and I've kind of enjoyed seeing what they can do. So this is just a stepping point for you to find out more information. Okay, are you ready? Let's go. Okay, the first one, let's get going. Let's find, where is it? Nope, that's not it. Sorry, there it is. First one we're gonna take a look at is TCOYD. It stands for Taking Care of Your Diabetes. It's quite a popular channel. It's University of Southern California in San Diego. They're a group of endocrinologists. The two major ones is Dr. Steve Edelman and Dr. Jeremy Pettis? I think it's Pettis. Sorry. But they give excellent information so that you're actually getting it from a qualified doctor. Most doctors put on a lab coat and say, okay, here's the points we're covering. This is what you have to do. In TCOYD, they do skits, they do songs, showing that there is a diabetes or type 1 diabetes community out there. I've talked about it for so many years that my life as a T1D has been isolated, that you have to do everything yourself. You can't get help. This channel is showing you can get help, and it is done by two or both of the doctors, or the two main doctors of TCOYD are endocrinologists in their own right. So you're getting some quality information. JDRF. My first book on diabetes came from JDRF, and it was an excellent reference book that I utilize quite a bit. They have a number of publications. Their site, you could look at the Johnson Diabetes Research Fund or the Juvenile, but JDRF is important site to look at. They're in Canada. There's also a site, the JDRF Canada website. And I think the two big main differences between the two, one uses millimoles per liter, the Canadian site does. The American site uses millimoles per deciliter. I wish we could all get using the same system. I personally grew up on the old system, so the new system was foreign to me for a while. Okay, the Michigan Medicine site is a site that educates you on all things diabetes related. It has how to take a shot, what to do if you're sick, what to do if you're low, what to do if you're high. And they're each in modules that you are able to watch repeatedly and learn from. That's the important thing. It's quite done in a simple way. However, it doesn't talk down to you. And I think that's important. A lot of people associate with type 1 diabetes as very young kids, and it's okay, now we're going to take Mr. Needle and Mr. Bottle of Syringe, and we're going to roll it in our hands. Michigan medicine doesn't do that. So it's a well done site. It's professional, their information is up to date, or it was at the time of this broadcast, but things in type 1 diabetes land change quite a lot. So it's worth taking a look at if you're a new diabetic. That's probably the best site that you can go for to take a look. Neil Greathouse. I believe he is a type 1 doctor. Don't quote me for exact on that. But his information presented on YouTube as a shorts, and they have quite a few shorts. He's easy to understand. He's easy to give yourself knowledge. Isn't that understanding? I guess so. But he tackles things like why insulin was so expensive or is so expensive in the States. He does how to do a shot. He talks about glucagon and why glucagon is getting to be expensive, and he talks about the new glucagon, the nasal glucagon. So he's really a good shorts to take a look at. Next is Between Two Lines. This gentleman, I believe it was probably during when his company was shut down during COVID, but he introduces diabetes-related information in a fun and comical way. He does a bit where he talks with high blood sugars, low blood sugars, and blood sugars, and he wears BS on his chest. It's pretty much a comical look at what happens with diabetes. He also does the skit where he goes in for an interview about a type 1, and he brings up these points that we're not paid for this. We didn't really make a choice on it, but yet we keep trying to do this. It's forced upon us. So it's this one I enjoyed. I laughed. It was good. He hasn't done videos in over 3 years, but it's still a worthwhile video to take a look at and to have some fun learning in a fun and worthwhile way. So take a look. Dream Flight 6000. All centered around a young boy through the mother's viewpoint and type 1 diabetes. He goes through giving a shot. You see him, the first videos of him as a very young boy, and he's grown up, and how many different parts of their lives in type 1 is affected. It all shows other parts of their life. And I think that's important, that there are other children in the family. It's that they're not the only ones, or Henry, I think his name is, the child, is not the only member of the family. And I think in a lot of type 1 family households, the one with the biggest problems seems to be the one that gets the attention. It's worthwhile to see that these people incorporate type 1 diabetes into your own life. He starts off by doing shots. He moves into the pump, And from the pump, he changes pumps. He gets a Dexcom and how he incorporates Dexcoms into school. He gives, or the mother gives, an honest feedback on school and kids in school with diabetes. And something that totally amazed me was state testing down there. A child couldn't look at their pump, couldn't look at a phone with blood sugar on it because, he might be cheating. Really, is state testing so important you're not allowing a child to be able to check their blood sugars? And she talks about this. She talks about getting food into the classroom and bringing testing supplies in. If you have a child with type 1 diabetes who is starting classes, it's worth taking a look at. So go and learn from it. It's worthwhile. Mary Como. I was going to Como. No, it's Como. Her main claim to fame was shorts or TikToks. And she does changing her Dexcom. She talks about having a fridge by her bed so she can keep the insulin close. If she starts to go high, she doesn't have to get up, go to another room, get the insulin, inject, and then come back. It's all kind of right there. She can keep pop, a little bit of pop, or treatments for lows refrigerated. She tells a very interesting diabetes diagnose channel, or diagnosis story, not channel. But where she didn't want to go to school that day, so she pretended to have a sore throat. And the mother took her to the doctor, and hence she was diagnosed with diabetes. The fun of it all. So my thought on that was she was probably tired because of the diagnosis. Just think about it. But it's worth, especially if you have a Dexcom, she learns how to change the Dexcom. She shows it, she puts it in weird spots, like right here. And I wouldn't put my Medtronic Guardian sensor there, but she does it with her Dexcom. And if it works for her, great. Personally, I wouldn't be caught doing it there, but okay. The last one we're going to discuss is the Dale tribe. I found this site. I think I just typed type 1 diabetes and this site came up. And we follow the young girl there through into her her young teenage years. And we see the pitfalls of diabetes. There was one episode where she talks that she went to a fast food restaurant and she ordered a diet drink, and she started drinking it and then said, "This doesn't taste like diet," and what to do. It's an important thing that we need to be careful about, and so you should be aware of. You can now, I'll explain a bit later how to go about and find out whether a soft drink has the sugar hooked up or the diet. But the Dale Tribe is an excellent resource. Okay, so these are just some of the sites I look at. There will be a part 2, and we will go over more sites, and you can build a repertoire. I don't expect me and my channel to be your only diabetes related sites. It's important that you gain knowledge, and whatever means you go about to do that is important. The internet has provided us with a number of positive sites. The only time you need to worry is if you get a site that is giving you questionable information. Don't fall for that. You will be able to find, and I'm sure as you mature as a diabetic, you will start to learn that these sites are not always going to tell you the truth. Sometimes they're trying to sell stuff, but you'll be able to start to decipher which ones are sort of truthful and which ones are not. With that, I hope you have a great day, and we'll have another talk soon. Bye now.